Hello, Joel here, and in this video, I'll show you why live webinars are the number one funnel for online coaches in 2026. Starting off with the one-to-many leverage. So leverage, as I see it, is getting more results and more output without having to do more work and more input. And right now, chances are that you run a one-to-one funnel, whether that's a DME, this keyword to get started in your bio, post, reels, and stories, maybe a VSL funnel, but it's oftentimes based on the manual effort of either your hours or how many hours your team can put in. And that means that you have to, either you or your setters live in your DMs, and to scale it, well, it is about putting in more hours. And you have to take a bunch of these discovery calls that maybe needs to reschedule multiple times, or they don't convert as often as you want them to. And yes, you can scale this model. You can have an army of setters, an army of closers and VAs, but then you will lose that personal connection with your audience, and it's tough to manage. What you can do instead is having the one-to-many leverage that webinars can give you. You can nurture and convert at scale. And for example, you gather hundreds of people in one live room, and then in the end, when you pitch, you can pitch to book in a call with you or your closers and get that benefit of having the sell and the conversion happening in the one-to-one setting, so you can sell higher ticket. Because we do not run the old school live webinar way where you pitch a 997 course in the end. No, we sell high tickets, but we can still do the heavy lifting, like shift the beliefs and build a trust and connection, sell them on the vehicle, sell them on you as a coach in the one-to-many setting, and then just convert one-to-one to be able to sell a higher ticket price point. Second reason is the trust recession. The market is sophisticated, and people know that they're being sold to when they watch content, they go through a funnel, they see a VSL, or they can oftentimes tell when they talk to a setter, because setters oftentimes have a way they're talking and a way they go about conversations that people can sniff out. And trust is at an all-time low, and it's only getting worse from here because more coaches are getting into this market, and they emulate what other people are doing, so everybody does the exact same thing. And AI-generated content is only going to get more common from here, which makes real, authentic content and human connection feel more scarce, and people will crave that. And the things that everybody can show before and after pictures, everybody can tell them, like your audience, the importance of sleep, or how much protein to eat, or what exercises to do for your chest, and how to optimize your circadian rhythm. And everybody can promise weight loss and more energy, or muscle, how to build muscle, or how to fix your mental health. These things doesn't make you stand out in the market, okay? So what makes you unique? Well, with a live webinar, you can connect with your audience, you can answer questions in an open Q&A, you can be there for them on a live call. You can relate to them with your story, and not only do it in a 90-second reel with a bunch of edits to try to hold their attention spans, but actually be there with them and tell them your story, which is a different feeling to it. Also, you can provide a lot of value up front, and that is different to providing value on a YouTube video or reel, because it feels that's less scripted, and you can answer questions and really show your expertise and prove it in a way that you cannot do with content that is pre-recorded, and also build trust with that. And that is how you can stand out from what everybody else does and become one of one in the market. On that note of building trust, which is the third reason that trust compounds. So you cannot lose with a live webinar funnel. And I mean that, you literally cannot lose. Because when you build trust on the live webinar, there are three things that can happen, basically. Either they book a call and convert into a high-ticket paying client, which is amazing. Or they might convert on a future webinar because you built that trust with them and you've nurtured them. Or they might convert with a different funnel, and maybe you run a VSL funnel or DME funnel on the side and get a webinar to give you a spike of calls every 4 to 6 weeks. They might convert with that different funnel maybe 1-2 months down the line. And that still leads to conversion. You see, when you build trust, you cannot lose because you nurture your audience, and that is only a good thing. And with a webinar, a big portion of the actual presentation is training. It's massive value up front. My philosophy on webinars is that you shouldn't just focus on selling, You should nurture your audience and build that connection, that trust, because people can feel when it's just a 90-minute pitch versus an actual live exclusive workshop or masterclass that you promised them. The fourth reason is that webinars is an attraction funnel. You get to advertise a free live masterclass. For example, if you were a fat loss coach, revealing how you can lose 20 pounds by summer following a simple 3-step system, all without giving up your favorite foods, doing cardio daily, or spending hours in the gym. If someone is 300 pounds and have been thinking about losing weight for years and trying but haven't succeeded, who doesn't want to join this free masterclass? Like, everybody would want to do that. And I can give you an analogy on this attraction funnel, right? What's so good? If you go to the grocery store and on your list you have bananas, avocados, and eggs. You go there with your little list, and then in the grocery store, somebody comes up to you with these kind of free samples of cheese. You take one, like, of course it's free, why not try it out? And this was really good, you think to yourself. And they have a crazy good offer on this. And then you walk away from the store with a big block of cheese that you didn't plan on getting in the first place. The same goes for webinars, because they join because it's such an attractive offer that everybody wants. And they see this, like, maybe you promote this on your story sequence. They see, like, I've been following this guy for a while now. This sounds actually interesting. I've got nothing to lose, so I'll just register on the landing page, right? And then on the webinar, they think this was really good. You see the similarity here? I need this. I'll actually apply, they think on the pitch. And then on the sales call, I just paid 2.5K for one-to-one coaching, and they won't regret that if you actually have a proper coaching program and good delivery, which you should have. I don't never want to talk or work with someone that just scams people. That is awful. The core focus on every single coaching program should actually be delivering results, and that is why I never think that things like these are manipulative marketing. This is a side note, but some people say that getting people in with some sort of free masterclass and then pitching in the end is sort of manipulative. But if you have a good offer and you genuinely help people, then selling them is doing them a favor, and not selling them is literally doing them a disservice, because you could change their life by changing their health and fitness. Anyways, the fifth reason is it's a new conversion mechanism. On that, the last point, you get to advertise a free live masterclass. The thing is that if you run a VSL funnel right now or a DME funnel, chances are that there are people that maybe have applied but didn't show up. Maybe they were close to booking a call. Maybe they booked a call but didn't convert. Maybe they no-showed, maybe they didn't get followed up with enough in the DMs. Maybe they watched the VSL but didn't apply. People can fall through the cracks at so many times. And with a live webinar, you can essentially hoover up all of these leads that were interested but didn't take that final step or didn't, take the next step in the funnel. And you can kind of pitch them to join this free masterclass. And then in the end, because they will want to watch this, if they were interested in even getting into your funnel and a few steps down into it, then they are interested in getting the problem solved. And if they still have the problem and haven't solved it yet, then they will want to join this masterclass. And then in the end, you can pitch them with a new angle, which you should have some bonuses in your webinar offer to make it better and stand out and be unique from your normal core offer that you sell on a random Tuesday afternoon, to give that incentive, that scarcity, that urgency, and that reason to actually buy on the spot or booking a call on the webinar. And that is why you can pitch with a new angle to these leads that didn't convert with the VSL funnel or whatever funnel you're running right now. And on this note as well, people need different conversion mechanisms to convert. Maybe they booked a call, but they were on call with your closer, and they just didn't like that. Maybe they feel like being on a webinar with you that is 90 minutes long, that will help them actually convert, because then they get that watch time with you, and that gets them to convert. So people need different things, and that is why it's so good to have a new conversion mechanism to kind of clean up the pipeline. I think this is reason number 6, yeah? You only get pre-sold sales calls, at least very close to only getting, very qualified sales calls. On the call, on the live presentation, for example, in the introduction, you share your own story, so they build that trust with you, and you share proofs of your clients and their results. And when they see that you've done it and they see that your clients have done it, then they trust themselves to do it. Then in the training portion, you can explain the vehicle, explain your unique method of how they can achieve the results that they want to achieve. And this way they trust the vehicle to get from where they are to where they want to be. You can also weave in some proof, some relatability, some testimonials throughout the entire training section. Then in the end, in the pitch, you break down your offer, and you can break down, for example, the cost of not taking action, and you can, give them some scarcity, some urgency, and that type of those things. And then in Q&A, you can handle some objections that are common on sales calls. And when they book in a call, they're on the call with you to buy, because the webinar has done the heavy lifting and they know the offer. They're literally on the call with you to buy. It's like a call to collect cash, essentially. Of course, not everybody will convert on the one-to-one call that you book on the after the webinars, but it should be a very, very close, very high close rate and rate of people paying in full. Reason number 7 is shorter sales cycles. So I have no idea actually who said this, but it's like a common saying, people need to watch 7, or some people say it's 11 hours, but content of you from you before they buy. Essentially, they need to watch a lot of content. They need watch time, and they need to get to know you, like you, and trust you. Live webinars are usually 90 minutes long. If you post a 90-second reel daily, and a lead watches every single one of them, it will take them 60 days to watch 90 minutes of content, okay? Webinars can massively speed this up because they can watch those 90 minutes in one session. And because you hit every angle when you're on the call with them, you can hit trust them on you, trust themselves, trust the vehicle, proof, relatability, urgency, scarcity, cost of not taking action, everything that you need to actually buy from you. You hit every single angle. Then you can, essentially book a lot of calls, higher close rate, higher pip rates. That should actually be on this one as well. But they are, you can get that sales cycle down from 90 days essentially to 90 minutes because you condense the things they need to take action into one session instead of multiple months. Now, this was every single reason why you should run a webinar in 2026, but I just want to leave you with one thing before I end this video, and that is that the pendulum always swings. Right now, webinars is, to me, as I've seen them, a bit untapped, especially in the health and fitness coaching niche that I work mostly in, right? I only work in that niche, but these webinars can apply to every single niche that is online coaching, but I only help online health and fitness coaches because that's what I know most about, and that's what I actually enjoy. Anyways, the pendulum always swings, and the big players right now are running live webinars because they know all of these good benefits. But once the masses, actually start using live webinars because they realize how good they are, right? All these great benefits, and they see the big players doing them, then they will start being known for being pitch fest. More people will start to join webinars, the consumers, and there will be people that ruin the reputation of webinars, and then they won't be as effective anymore. So if you want to run a webinar, I highly recommend that you look into it right now, and don't sit around and wait for it, because this good opportunity might pass us by in a couple of months from now, in a year from now, I don't know. But right now, I think it's the perfect time. So if you want some help on your journey on webinar, and you're quite a busy coach that, want to get in on this but don't have time right now, then DM me on Instagram. I will leave a link in the description down below. And I can give you a custom game plan of how you can implement a live webinar, so you don't have to spend so much time, thinking about how to do it. Because I know that online coaches are busy, coaching clients, posting content, and yeah. Anyways, I hope this helps you, and have an absolute amazing day. See ya in the next one.